All right, guys. All right. So now I just want to check before I get things started here. I want to make sure that I'm sending everything back to where we're going back to the beginning. We're going to go done. All right. All right. I'm live on YouTube and I am currently live on Facebook, it appears. All right, guys. All right. All right. All right. Let me see if I can do this. If I'm live, live, live. Let's see. I'm just testing things out, guys. I'm telling you. I just want to inspire some people, you know what I mean? I like connect. All right, so the post is I need to put a title and all that stuff in there. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna do that. I guess I gotta do it on change. We're good. Bear with me, YouTube. Here, I think they call it struggle streaming, but I'm going for it, guys. What makes the video stand out? Let me see. This is a live podcast recording for the Change for Good podcast. I am discussing awareness and how to identify your core values. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's just go live. Dang it. Let's just go live. All right. All right. So I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm back in the Riverside. So let's do it. Let's see. Let's see if I finally figure this stuff out. Because I'm gonna go ham on this podcast, guys, because I feel like I can help a lot of people become the best version of themselves. And so let's start. Boom. What's up, everybody? I'm Michael James, and this is the Change for Good podcast, episode 2. Now, the first episode, I'm going to keep it 100. I'm always going to keep it 100, actually. But I'm going to be honest, I got COVID about a month ago, and it kind of knocked me off my horse. The very first episode was with no one other than Christopher Register, and I was really, really, really excited. And I have two more people who I haven't reached back out to. But when I got COVID, I kind of felt like a shell of myself. And I didn't feel like I was 100%. But to be honest, guys, I think I'm back and I feel better than ever. And I am ready to actually officially kick off this podcast series, guys. And I just, thank you guys. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Michael James. I am the founder of the Change Goods brand. This is my podcast called The Change for Good. What I do is I help people shift their mindset mentally, physically, and emotionally to help them live an inspired life and create lasting changes for good. Now, I have a philosophy that it only takes 4 steps in order to implement changes in your life. That's awareness, acknowledgement, execution, and consistency. Now, if you use and apply these 4 things to any aspect in your life, whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to start a business, whether you're trying to start a podcast, whether you're trying to become a content creator, anything that it is in life that you want can be sought after if you have awareness and you implement acknowledgement or accountability, however you want to say it, execution and consistency. Now, I started this show off with an excuse about COVID holding me back, but I was just being honest with you. It's like nobody bats 1,000, you know? And I'm more of a curious person, you know? Like I'm always going to be, I think the best way to say it is to say fuck around and find out. I'm always going to be one of those kinds of people. But anyhow, on this current episode, I want to talk about the awareness side of the change for good process. As I said before, there's awareness, acknowledgement, execution, and consistency, and that equals change for good. Now, I've been a classically trained Pilates instructor for over 15 years. I studied in New York, studied in Vero Beach, studied with some of the best instructors around, and some of them aren't even really famous. I'm somebody who doesn't subscribe to that you have to have the back end of somebody with a big name, you know? And so I really don't like to refrain. I don't like to refer back to my accolades like that because I know some people will say that people want to hear it, but what I can do is I can produce a result. And at the end of the day, the only thing that anybody truly cares about is can you give me what I'm paying you for? And now that takes awareness, guys. So today, what I'm going to implement is that if you've ever been to my website, if you are a member and you're listening to this podcast here, or wherever you may be listening on any platform, guys, I'm really grateful for you guys to listen. And I hope that I can give everybody some real good value from this. And I just want you to know that I'm just somebody, there's nothing special about me. I'm not here to brag about myself. What I'm trying to do is inspire people to get out of their comfort zone and be daring enough to do something that really truly makes you happy so you can live a life that you truly love and you can live with inspiration, because I'm one of those people who believes that motivation is a myth also. And because if you're not inspired, what the hell are you going to be motivated about, you know? And so today, what I want to talk about is that I want to talk about SWOT analysis. Now, if you never heard of the SWOT analysis, it was created by a Stanford professor. His name was Albert Humphrey, right? So basically, this is an analysis of a way to break down, which in my philosophy, I call it your core values, the things that make you you. Now, I know we always hear the term your health is your wealth, and how all of these things are synonymous. And what does that even mean? Like, so I like to say that I want to help people have generational health, both physically and mentally, because you don't know how long we're going to live. A lot of people say a lot of different things. I'm going to take a drink of water here, guys. Excuse me. So, a lot of people, when it comes to like health and wellness, there seems to be a lot of redundancies, right? And that's just not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. These things are redundant because what they do is they consistently, like, I think there's this measure that the average person has to hear or see something 7 times before they take action. Then there's also this thing that it takes over 67 days to create a lasting habit, which in the fitness world, they always promise you 15-day abs, 30 days this, well, 75 and hard, you know? And really, everything is hard. Even the easiest route you take to starting an exercise program, it's always going to be hard. And I'm not knocking anything that's 75 and hard or anything that's like, you know, anything that has to do with counting, I think is a recipe for failure in general. But anyhow, what I want to get into is that I want to stay focused here. And because that's something that I'm working on personally, is that I want to have more focus in the things I do. And the reason why I say that, right? And I just want to touch on this a little bit before I go any further, because I like to tell people things that I'm actively working on, because I don't want to give this facade that I'm this perfect person and I have it all fucking figured out, because I actually don't. I don't have it figured out. I don't even have it figured out how to do this podcast. I don't really quite have figured out how to do editing. But what I do have figured out is that I know that I'm not going to find anything out unless I give it a shot. And everything that I do and everything that I want you to believe in, and I'm going to do that through, I'm going to be the ruse for that, guys. I want you guys to realize that all things are possible. Just give it a shot. Don't be that person who thinks that you can't get a job because you're female or your race or anything like that. Apply first. Let someone tell you no. Stop telling yourself no. These self-limiting beliefs is crushing your mindset. It's crushing your motivation. I know you guys couldn't see me throw the quotation marks if you listen to the audio, but anyhow, I want you to start understanding, operating that when I say your health is your wealth, it took me a while until one of my really good friends, Robert Cortez, and I sought some financial advisement for him, right? And this was before I had my very own business. I was an employee at Sam's Club working in the meat department, right? And I had just started investing in stocks and things like that. And I just got into investing. So then I was starting to learn on how I wanted to manage my money, right? And he said something that was really fascinating to me when we first started. It was like one of the day one, the first thing that he said. He said a lot of people don't understand what retirement means, and I'm spitballing here. Like I can't quote him exactly because it was a long time ago. It was over 5 or 6 years ago, and which is crazy to think about. And then but it's one of those things where he goes, a lot of people look at retirement, but you don't know how much it costs to be you. And that just took me back a little bit was how much does it cost to be you to retire? Because retirement, whether you retire with $1.7 million, $1.3 million, $600,000, how do you know that is enough for you to retire? And through Robert's advisement, I realized that the only way you would know is by taking inventory and tracking your expenses and finding out how much it costs to be you. How much does it actually cost for you on a day to day basis to be the happiest person that you can be? And a lot of people don't stop to consider that. And I really personally believe that it's personal finance 101. And personal finance, and if you can look on the CDC website, I believe it's on there too, also, but just one of the most common health factors for Americans is diseases of the heart and heart conditions. And a lot of that comes from stress. And what do you think is one of the biggest stressors in people's lives? People stay stuck in jobs that they're miserable at. People try to figure out how they're going to pay their bills every day. Do they have enough money to feed their families? All of that is stressful. Now, and if you think that you have to finally, like you're when it comes around to it, that you're finally going to get it together, and when you finally get it together, are you going to completely understand what it takes to be you as a person? When you finally figure out how much does it cost to be you? Because also, let me tell you this, when it comes to your annual salary, figuring out how much it costs to be the happiest version of you can possibly help you, like figuring out your finances first, right? And I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. What I want you to do is seek out professional advice and just take a consultation. This goes along with my fuck around and find out. Why don't you take a consultation? If you're an entrepreneur, take a consultation with an actual CPA. If it's $100, pay it. You will learn something for $100. Trust me. If it's $150, if it's $200, I know money's tight and we're heading into unprecedented times, especially financially. We have no idea where we're going, and I sure as hell don't. I just know that I'm preparing for it. But one of the things that I want you guys to take away before we get into talking about self awareness is your health is important and your health is your wealth because in order to show up to work every day, you have to be healthy. Remember, they started remote work because of COVID. You remember that? 2019? You remember that? So long ago? It's crazy. We was wearing masks. Zoom stocks were booming. Run up a bag on that. You guys remember those times? It's crazy, isn't it? But see, here, what I want you guys to understand is that your health and your wealth is synonymous. The way you handle your personal finance is exactly the way that you handle your health, your physical health. If you're somebody who you're a crash and burner, right? And what I like to call a crash and burner, you're that person who signs up for the gym membership, goes hard for 1 week, experiences that first episode of soreness, and then you don't go back for 3 months. You're that same person who gets that tax return or that stimulus check, and you go ham buying everything that you want. And then after that little money pops away, you go right back to the same financial habits that you always had. That's why one of the things that they say about people who inherit money mismanages it because they never experienced having money and they never solved the problem of money management with the little money that they had. They may have been living over their means and currently living over their means. So, like, you may have to scale back. And I'm gonna later have an episode where I go into ego, guys, because I've been trying to diminish my ego. Now, what you will hear from me, especially if you follow me on social media, it's on Instagram. It's at Change Goods Brand. That's ChangeGeBrand. And then I think I even spelled my own handle wrong, but it's Change Goods Brand. And I'll type it in here when I go back and edit these videos. But anyhow, I want you to realize that even while you're listening to this, take notes of my mistakes that I'm making. Give me constructive criticism. I really want you guys to tell me that do I ramble on? Do I not stay focused? Because what I want to do is I want to grow and I want to be better. I have tons of valuable information that I want to give to people. And I really, 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 really want to help some people at least live with the happiness and fulfillment that I have in my heart. And it's not about the size of my bank account. It's about how happy I am every day and how grateful that I am every day. And my life is great. It's fantastic. And it's only going to get better because I'm only going to keep adding to the valuable life that I have. And I want you guys to realize that. I want to be a walking example of this, that having gratitude and not being jealous of somebody and envious and you're being too detached for what makes you you. And I want you to realize that expressing yourself is okay. You're going to offend people, you're going to ruffle some feathers, but on the way, you may inspire more people, not by what you're saying, by what you're doing, because actions speak louder than words. So, anyhow, let me get into the SWOT analysis again. I got some notes here. I'm going to look down at them. All right, guys? So, the SWOT analysis is just a process that was created by Alfred Humphrey. He was a professor at Stanford University. Now, SWOT is spelled SWOT. That's strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and I forgot the last T. What is it? Threats. Yeah, threats. And you know what? Sometimes my inability to focus is a threat to me. But anyhow, once again, SWOT is SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, guys. Threats. And now, basically, what you're doing is you're going to make 4 categories when you take a SWOT analysis, right? So you're going to get a piece of paper. Let me see if I can get something here. I have a piece of paper close by, guys. Notebook here. See, I'm not even fully prepared. But I'm telling you guys, this is only going to get better as I go, right? So, see, I got notes. Oh, man, I got a lot of notes. Sometimes writing notes, I'm going to get into this now. So, we do 4 columns: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, right? So, the best way that you do it, right, is that when it comes to listing your threats and weaknesses, you should include anything that will negatively impact the direction that you want to go, or something like just who you want to be. What is some weaknesses and what is a threat to the progress that you're trying to make? What are your weaknesses that may prevent you from getting towards that goal you want to get to? What are some threats? Like, what are some threatening behaviors that you have? Like, I think that if you go on my Spotify, I recorded a podcast or just like audio. This is when I first trying to figure out the whole Anchor podcast thing, guys. And by the way, I'm going to leave links in the description on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to like, share, but most definitely subscribe, because I'm also going to upload some workouts. I'm going to go heavy into anatomy. I'm going to start expressing to you guys the 15 years of knowledge that I have in Pilates and my passion for actually helping people have the ability to be mobile, especially pre and post injury. Those are my strengths. That's one of my strengths in fitness. I'm not going to be one of those influencers. Maybe sometimes I'll flex on you. Sometimes I'll show you how flexible I am, actually. I'm a 6'6", 250-pound massive. Or what does Dr. Dre say in his song? I'm 6'5", 225 of pure chocolate. So, anyways, guys, I like to have fun. Um, but yeah, so anyhow, what you're going to do now is you're going to make something like this, guys. And I know you can't see it too well. I got to make sure. See how I have SWOT, right? SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So now, your strengths, right? You got to be as honest as possible. Lying to yourself is the worst thing you can possibly do. You have to be real with yourself. A lot of, you know what's really funny and fascinating? This is a side note, is a lot of people tend to, what is the word I'm looking for? They tend to lie to themselves a lot and then expect other people to be honest with them. And I think that's the most presumptuous and arrogant thing that you can actually do. It's like you don't even have the respect enough for yourself not to lie to yourself, but you command other people to do so. You know, and what's funny is that could be written in your weaknesses, is you need to stop lying to yourself. And that can also be a threat. Lying to yourself is a threat to your goals, because you can never get where you're going by lying how you're going to get there. I mean, you could, like, what are you going to do? Take a jet, but you don't got jet money. So you're lying to yourself by assuming that you're going to take the jet. Now, yes, I believe in optimism and thinking ahead and the whole thinking grow rich mindset of manifesting things and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, the craziest thing that I believe about manifestations is that not that you could just think and grow rich, right? It's the action of actually putting the positive thought into your head creates the action of doing those things. Like, let's say, all right, so let's go. We're going to start with strengths, right? So here's a couple of questions that you can ask yourself, right? I have them written down here. One of the questions that you can ask yourself is, what advantages do you have that others do not? Now, this might sound like an arrogant thing to ask yourself, but really think about it. What is something that you believe you're good at and others are not? Now, I know a lot of people will encourage you not to consider what other people are, but really, when it comes to self awareness, you have to separate yourself from others and you have to shift your mindset to start thinking positively about yourself. No. And then I'll have this whole rant that I'll go on after these questions. Trust me, I tend to rant a lot. But what I want you to realize is that there's these there's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself. Now, you have some people who are insecure and lack self-confidence themselves that will tell you that quote, what is it? There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, you know? But and I don't mean to mock people. I just think it's funny to use other voices all the time, guys. And if that's offensive to somebody, I'm sorry it offends you. But what I want you to understand is that believing in yourself is extremely important. Like, I know that may sound arrogant, but I'm telling you that I believe in you already more than possibly most people believe in themselves. And it's because that I think that, and a lot of people think that it's negative talk, but I think that I'm such a regular person, and the way that I feel and the way that I behave and the security that I have in my life now, that if I can have it, why not you? Like, I'm I'm far from being the smartest person you know. Um, I'm definitely, I like to believe I'm one of the kindest people, but I make inappropriate jokes. I have a dark sense of humor. But I don't know. Some people who also have a dark sense of humor may not find that, but people who doesn't, they like. I have a really good friend of mine, and she always texts me. I think it's Watika, and then her name's Annette. I'm gonna have her on my podcast. A remarkable behavior analyst. Like, you, just when you hear her talk and then the things she talks about, I'm going to interview her, but I think that I'm going to co-host this podcast with her. Like, it may even shift. I might even change the name of this thing. You just never know. But while we're here, let's talk about your strengths, right? So you got to ask yourself, what advantages do you have that others do not? So what are those? What are those advantages that you have that others do not? Hmm? Me, if it helps, would you like to know something that I consider myself something a strength? Something that I consider to be a strength of mine is that I have a curious mindset. And my curiosity keeps me humble because to be curious means that I'm always seeking more knowledge. And I don't never think that I have all the answers. Like, I think I'm a pretty decent investor. I think I understand cryptocurrency. Don't really understand the stock market that much, but I know the basic principles of investing. And I apply that to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And because I believe that the digital is the future, but I'm a very curious person. I'm naturally curious. And I'm somebody who that and being kind is not a strength, by the way. Like, I think it's something that everybody is. And then so just one of the things that is my strength is just that I'm a naturally curious person, and I don't believe that I'm the smartest person, so I'm always naturally searching for more knowledge. And one of the things that I think that I do better than anyone else is that I believe that I'm a really good listener. And the thing is, I'm an active listener. Um, like one of my favorite guys who inspired me to become an entrepreneur, like, and I wouldn't have known that. So, because I like systems, and then I realized from investing that Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, and then like the way they invest in businesses is how well is their systems. That's why you need to have a professional like myself help you get to where you're trying to go, and what we'll do is we'll break down these things, you know, is we're going to break down how to find out how to get you aware of who you are. And you start by asking yourself questions. What do you do better than anyone else? Your strengths. What values do you believe that will help you succeed? What are values for that matter? What are your values? You feel me? What is something that you value? You know? I want you to take a second and think about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google what values are. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show you that you don't need some course to tell you this, even though I have one on my website. And then, like, and just because I have it doesn't mean, because I also think you need to get structured. All right. So now that we're here, all right, I want to be sure that you see this. So let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen before I do this, right? So we're gonna do we're just gonna do just one Chrome tab. We're gonna what our values, bada bing, share. Not sure how that's going to look, but here we are, real quick, guys. As you can see here, it says values, the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. It's your merit. Synonyms are merit, worth, self worth is part of your values. Utility, I like that word. Utility is one of my favorite words. The second definition, a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. Let me say that one again because this is where I'm getting at. Your values are your principles or standards of behavior or your judgment of what is important in life to you. Principles, ethics, morals. Now, I'm not getting in to politics, but social issues is part of your values. Now, I'm someone who believes that you should keep your social issues private, and I'm damn sure going to do that unless someone asks. But I don't just give my thoughts out like that. You know what I mean? Except on this podcast. Trying to get some, so, I'm sometimes a comedian. So I just want, I want you guys to understand that we're trying to get down to what your values is. So it's like part of your strength is what values do you believe in that you believe that's going to help you succeed. And so when I say don't get into politics, I'm saying that the place where you work at, the person you're in love with, the friends that you're involved around, the family members that you're in company with, all of those things could either be a strength, a weakness, or a threat. It may be even an opportunity in there. You never know, you know? And then the last question for your strengths there is what is unique about what you offer? What is your value, which is the regard that something is held, you see, the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness. So, what is your value in the marketplace? What does value in the marketplace even mean? What is your strength? What is something that makes you you? Because even like, and let me tell you this, because I'm actually glad because this is one thing that I want people to realize. Like I've been to all the business seminars, right? Well, not all of them. I've been to quite a few. I've been to quite a few events. And I hear what every entrepreneur says on Instagram and getting like your next business partner would be at an event. I met my business partner at an event, spoken by someone at an event. You got to come out to these events and get into the room with these people and network, as told by someone who's trying to get you to buy a ticket to their event. See where I'm going with that? And I'm not knocking the hustle, guys. Let me tell you that. I love entrepreneurship. I love marketing. I love all of it. What I'm saying is if you don't have a foundation to stand on, you're ripe. You're ripe. You see what I'm saying? Like you are ripe to be a puppet. And that's why it's important to have awareness. That's why in the Change for Goods philosophy, the first thing that you need to have is awareness. Why are you here? Why are you on this planet? Why did you walk through the door? Why did you click add to cart on Change Goods membership? Why did you click on this podcast? Is it because you like me as a person? Is it because you like me as my looks? I say that humbly, by the way. It's just a general question. It's not that I do find myself attractive. I'm not here to pity myself or anything like that, but I'm not pompous and arrogant enough to assume that everyone thinks that I'm the hottest thing to ever walk the block. Somebody likes me. I have 3 kids with a beautiful woman. But what I want you to realize is just that why are you here? And then my thing that I owe to you, to your ears and your time, is that I have to give you something to value, even though if I'm rambling, you can have me in the background while you're walking with your kid, playing with them in the park, one AirPod in, one Galaxy Bud in the ear. You can play me on your stereo out in your garage while your kids are running around. And sorry, but I'll curse. But I'll also try to give them a little bit of knowledge that makes them a strong person because I do it to my kids. And that's the brilliance of technology. It giveth and it taketh, you know? And it's just a really, 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 really fascinating world we live in. And you have to understand what are your strengths. Now, now that we find out, let's go run through the strengths again because I go on tangents as I go on. But what I really want you guys to be clear on, right? 4 questions to ask yourself about your strengths. What advantages do you have that others do not? Question number two, what do you do better than anyone else? Question number three, what values do you believe in that will help you succeed? Emphasis on values. And lastly, what is unique that you offer to the marketplace? And now, to follow up with that, after those four questions, if you're somebody who has self limiting beliefs and you're a Debbie Downer and you're just somebody who's woe is me, Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, let me tell you right now, I don't even know you. I don't even know who's listening to this. But I want every human being in the world to know the reason why I started my business, why I'm starting this podcast, that each and every single one of us is absolutely fucking amazing. We all have something that we offer. We get lost in the sauce that this life that we live, the marketing, the branding, the capitalism, and I love all of it. I love it. I'm not hating on it. I'm saying that it's easy to get lost if you never have someone who's telling you how amazing that you are. And it has to start with you. And you have to go through a shit ton of work sometimes to get to that self-believing part of yourself. And it's not easy. Step one is not really fucking easy. Finding out your strengths, getting self-aware, it's not easy, but it's possible. And it starts with getting real, realizing that saying that you think you're the shit, say it. I want everyone to say it right now with me. I want you to say, I'm the shit. Yeah, that feels good, right? Say it again. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Say it again. I'm amazing. I am powerful. And you can do anything. I want you to tell yourself that every day. Because you're an absolutely remarkable person. Even if we don't even have the same value, even if we don't agree on the same thing, you need to start getting real confident about who you are as a person. You're absolutely amazing. Absolutely. So, back to the drawing board. We're still talking about self awareness, guys. What I really want you to understand is start acknowledging your strengths. Whether you're a line cook, guess what? You can cook. There's some people who can't get a job as a line cook because they don't have experience. Some people don't even have the willingness to learn to do the training. I worked in a restaurant for years. It's not that hard. They'll tell you that. Even at every level of the restaurant, it's not that hard. It's just how well can you deal with people. The only difference of all the positions in the restaurant is how much can you network. And you can tell the kind of people who have it, even if they're back of the house or front of the house. It doesn't matter. I think if you go to work for Google and you worked in a restaurant for 20 years, tell someone you work back at the house. My restaurant people know. My restaurant people know. You worked in the restaurant, tell them you work back in the house, and you talk to those asshole front of the house people. The young girl or the young boy who's cute, good looking. You know, there's always like some kind of visual aesthetics about front of the house and back of the house. Not that back of the house people are ugly. Most of the time, the back of the house people believe they're ugly. Not that they actually are, but they still clean up. Some of my best friends. Actually, I like back of the house, but I was front of the house because you didn't have a salary cap. That's what I liked about front of the house. That was the only difference in the restaurant that I liked about front of the house is that you didn't have a salary cap because you worked for tips. You know what I mean? But anyhow, I'm sniffling, man. I feel like I'm coming down with something and I'm always beating up. I started out telling you guys I was fighting something off. But anyhow, what we're doing next is weaknesses, SWOT analysis. We went through the strengths there, weaknesses. Now, for you Debbie Downers, this is going to be the longest list that you can make. You know what I mean? My weaknesses is that I'm just the biggest loser. Nobody likes me. I smell like crap. I'm so fat. You know, people are really inherently mean to themselves all the time. And that's why I make these jokes. And these are truly jokes. I'm not saying that I'm calling people fat to be derogatory and stuff like that. I'm mocking people who say that because I don't believe it. That's part of comedy. Maybe I'm missing my mark as a comedian, and I need to label myself as a comedian to get that pass. You know, maybe somebody will come slap me when I make these jokes in person. I get what I deserve, though, and I strongly believe that if I offend you to the point that you feel like you have to come to blows, and and if I said it and I'm unaware of it, I apologize. But I kind of get like I can't control how you feel about what I say, you know. So it's like it is what it is, and we just got to stay true to who we are, if you know what I mean. But anyhow, here's 4 questions that you should ask yourself about your weaknesses. Your weakness. What is a task you avoid because you don't feel confident in doing it? Now, I can tell you this as a bartender. I met tons of individuals, both male and female, that they didn't feel comfortable talking to men or women or people for that matter. Not always in courtship, just in terms of networking. Some people, what do they call it? Socially awkward, you know, which is a myth. And I hope that I can break you through that. And you're allowed to hold on to that. You know, you are. And I'm not saying that you're not allowed to curl up into a little ball and say that I'm just not I'm not a people person. I can't do this. You can. You 100% can. And I'm going to tell you that you're going to be a very, 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 very successful person at everything you do. And success should be about based on happiness. Gary Vee says that. And I guess I can give it to him that he's the reason why I think that way is that he's the one person that I believe that he's going to see his thing through. Like the guy's already his net worth climbs up like every year. He comes out with something great. The things he did with NFTs, brilliant. I and here's not financial advice, guys. Not financial advice, but I feel like I need to say this. That Gary Vee is such a high level executor, right? And this is just something that I'm looking into. And I'm going to share this with you guys here live, YouTube, live, Facebook. That he's such a high level executor that while the market is down, and I believe that it's going to trend lower, you may want to look in buying a VFriend while the market's down or for the low with the Ethereum. Don't tell me. Let's just look into it because NFTs are the future. Gary Vee is attached to VFriends, who's a brilliant master of marketing. He's very proud of his name and he stands behind it. I promise you, I'm not an affiliate with anything like this. I just want you to do your own research, look into it and how NFTs work. I'm not telling you to follow Jake Paul and those guys. They're greedy. They're greedy. They're great guys though, like highly successful. Like I don't even know if they're great. I say that term loosely. I don't really know. What I'm saying is that they're great at what they do, and that you can't take that from them. You can, but it won't do no. It won't hurt their pockets at all. If we get enough people, we unfollow them. It's like they're following likes them. People who like people don't leave people because you don't like them. It's the irony of Yelp reviews, in my opinion. But anyhow, it's what tasks do you avoid because you do not feel confident doing? Is it talking to women, right? Is it networking, right? Is it cold calling if you're a salesman? Is it upselling if you're someone who works front of the house? Is it asking that guy or girl at the gym if they would like a session if you're a personal trainer? That could be a weakness, you know. Is your weakness is that you have no experience as a parent on the back end? Is your weakness self-limiting beliefs? So what kind of tasks do you avoid? Like avoiding it. Could it be fixing your own credit that you don't want to pull go to www.annualcreditreport.com that's giving you free you can look at your own credit report free all three bureaus without a hit on your bureau, print it out or download the PDF and see everything that's on your credit report and then get to work on it without paying somebody. You can do the work. You can pay someone speed. You don't need money. You only need knowledge in this world. You don't need money. You only need knowledge. You feel me? I don't think y'all hear me though. I don't think y'all give me that drum. Damn. Damn, James. Where are my outcast people at? I just having fun. We're going deep in here. You know what I mean? It's 52 minutes in. Had to do something to wake both me and myself up and you all. So now, second question that you would ask yourself in weaknesses. What will people around you see as your weaknesses? Now, this is a trick question here. The trick question is, what does your mom think about you? What does your spouse think about you? What do your friends think about you? What do your boss think about you? Write it down as your weakness. Write it down. See it every day. I'll tell you why after I get through these questions. Because I know I'm probably dragging this on. Where are we at? 53 minutes. I only want to make this thing about an hour and 10 minutes. So let's say, what personality traits are currently holding you back? Is it that social anxiety? Is it you're timid? Is it that you think that you're a poor public speaker? Because I am. I'm all over the place. I'm that ADD kid bouncing all over the fucking walls all the time. Still get it done though. You know why? Because 99% of people don't execute. And I'll tell you this too. I got to write that down. 99% execution. But if you guys happen to go to my website and you purchase the Change for Good mindset course, which is going to have the SWOT analysis, it's going to have a printable PDF out. It's going to have a piece of paper that you can print out or a downloadable PDF that you can print out and write it down yourself. Has everything that you need in order to get focused on where you're going. So if you go to, I'll drop a link in the comments, take you straight to the check the cart. You can hit click on it and we can get to work on yourself then. You know what I mean? But so anyhow, it's the last and final of the four questions of weaknesses. What do you need to work on to become as successful as you want to be? Me, I need to work on being focused, being able to deliver. I freestyle everything too much. I'm a freestyler. I'm a battle rapper. My thing is, I think that I don't need to write notes all the time. That's why I'm looking down at it. And then I realized that I started doing it, but I'm actively working towards it. Hopefully, you will get to see the growth of how well this goes and then see that it works. Because I'm not good at podcasting. I have no idea. I had to figure this out. And I'm telling you that I struggled at the beginning, starting this thing. I was too late. I didn't have I had to buy all the bells and whistles. I need headphones to talk on camera. I needed this fancy microphone here. I needed this webcam that I still think is kind of crappy. I need the lighting that I have behind me. I got these cool little neon lights that you can't even see. But I'm still talking. I've been talking for 56 minutes. I interviewed one person already. Just do it. Multi-billion dollar motto. Just do it, Nike says. You know what's next? Opportunities. You got ops. Everybody's got ops. But we're talking opportunities. Opportunities are things that present itself that can help you get ahead, which leads to the first question. Ask yourself, what can help you move ahead? What is an opportunity that you see? If you're socially awkward, do you have an opportunity to speak in front of people that you don't know? Is it people that you don't know? Would you like to make a toast at a wedding, and you don't know what you're going to do? Why don't you try to do karaoke is a good way. Like I can give you tons of things to try first. Sing a karaoke song. If you got to do a speech for a wedding and you don't know how to talk to people, sing a karaoke song. Make it fun. You know what I mean? Bring out your personality. That's the thing that is going to be the best. Like even some of the greats, man. And then it's like whether you like the guys, don't like the guy's opinion or not. Rush Limbaugh was a great guy. Like as far as public speaking and radio hosting and getting his message clear, interviewing people and things like that. Bit of an angry guy, but he's great. Radio. Howard Stern's another good one. Man. But my favorite is like Eric Thomas, Emmanuel Acho. I probably screwed up his name. But let me tell you somebody who I really like, and he's big time, underrated, and you probably never heard of him. Is this guy named David Shands? Sleep is for suckers. This dude always sounds like he's that cousin or best friend that gives you the best advice. And he's super knowledgeable, great work ethic, breaks things down in a simple form and stuff like that. Like he's someone who like I might be older than him. I'm not even sure how old he is. It doesn't matter. I find inspiration like there's 25-year-old kids that inspire me. You know, who's actually inspiring that's pretty young? Luka Doncic. Think about being a professional basketball player since you were 13 years old, playing against grown men. You know what I mean? Lamelo got those kids. Those kids are amazing. They got more money than me. Who cares? I don't. I still like give people their flowers, man. When I was young, I had potential too. There were some old heads probably mad at me. And I probably didn't live up to the potential that they thought I was going to. Still today, I don't care. But anyhow, let's get back to these opportunities. What network of strategic contacts do you have or can you create? What I want you to do, here's a challenge, right? I got this from network marketing, right? And then say what you want. I've done it all. I taste things, you know what I mean? I taste things. I gotta get a little, put my toe in, get my fuck around and find out. That's what I do. That's what I opened up saying that I'm a fuck around and find out kind of person. Network marketing. Let me see what it's about. Let me take the phone call. Because I tell you what, you never know when opportunity is knocking if you don't open up most of the fucking doors. Or if you don't look in the people. You got to look. You got to go see, check it out. Fuck around and find out. I heard he's got hands. Well, let me see. I hit the clapping button. You know what I mean? I hit the clapping button, but it's pretty funny that I meant to make it sound like slap boxing, but maybe I have to download some more sounds though. But I don't know. That's pretty fun. So anyhow, back to opportunities. What in your industry is not being filled yet? So this one's for the entrepreneurs or somebody you may be looking for an opportunity to make some money, man. Don't be afraid to make a side hustle, guys. Don't be afraid to start a side hustle. A lot of people are afraid to do something that can make them extra fucking money because you're worried about what other people who are going to clown you because you're broke anyway. Get on that Instacart. Get that oobs and be the best oobs that you want to be. I tell you what'll be the game changer. Like I still don't know how that stuff works, right? Picking up rides and stuff like that. But whatever it may be, I tell you one of the best hustles that I've ever done. It's the first thing that got me started investing. Actually, I was making extra money as a side hustle while I was working at Sam's Club, right? And I didn't even have a car. I would drive around and look for furniture on the side of the road. I currently have an LLC for this, by the way. If anybody needs me and they're in the real estate game and you got a house and estate sale and stuff like that and you need that stuff cleaned out, holla at your boy. I can help you out. So I probably should advertise for that more. I need to get a logo. Graphic designers hit me up. I actually got enough. I don't need no one to hit me up. I already know the graphic designers that I'm going to. Shout out to Steve J. Huss and RJ Strange. You guys should look them up. I just want to be sure that I give my dope graphic guys, the ones who helped me get started on my entrepreneur thing, man. I can't even give Steve J. Huss a standing ovation. Standing ovation. Shout out to the Flow Amazing. 321princeton.com. Throw them flowers at my boy. You know what? I'm going to drop his link on the house, man. Let me tell you. No, they don't want me to monetize my content. Let me monetize my homeboy that helped me out, Steve J. Huss. Shout out to you. I'll make sure I'll tag you in this. What mark are we at? 104. Make sure I cut this out. RJ Strange, shout out to you. I want to shout you guys out, man. I'm telling you, when it comes to designing logos, printing business cards, flyers, dope shirts, man, whatever kind of graphics you need, man, RJ Strange, Steve J. Huss, holla at him. Flo Mason, Bar Flizzle, Barfly, that is. All right, guys. But anyhow, I'm almost through this. What do you need to work on to become as successful as you want to be? The ultimate question. This is an opportunity. You got to see these opportunities. You have to start thinking about these things. The other thing that a financial advisor told me, shout out Justin Wiseman and Robert Cortez, people don't fail. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. People don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. I know they didn't quote those, but they put that in my head, and I just man, I'm all about giving those flowers, man. Give a shout out to Justin Wiseman and Robert Cortez. So, but yeah, thank you, thank you, guys. I really like this sound. I really like this sound. So, yeah, man. Gratitude, grateful, man. I'm grateful. I've been blessed with great friends, great people in my life, man, who helped me get to where I wanted to be. Some people I let down along the way, and I know you think that I forgot or I don't give a fuck. Either way it is. But where I'm heading at, I'm going to get everybody right, man. And I'm thankful for the people who may think that I've forgotten about them. I'm only human. I'm growing as a person every day, although that's not an excuse for lack of communication. Just want to be clear about that, guys. And I love everybody in my life, and I'm really grateful for everyone. And even when I offend someone, I even say that, and I don't say it to be passive aggressive. It's just that I'm sorry that offended you. When I say that, I can't control it. Eleanor Roosevelt, you can only feel inferior with your own consent. Control the controllables. I can't control how you feel about what I say and what I do. I know I love you, even if you hate me. I love you. David Goggins, you can't hurt me. But, so now, last but not least, threats. What obstacles do you believe that you're going to face when you're trying to implement changes? What obstacles? What obstacles do you think you're going to face? The second question: what weaknesses could lead to additional threats? And last question: what threatens your growth the most, in your humble opinion? And what this means is it your girl? Is it your husband? Is it your boss? Is he a real asshole? There's probably some like socially conservative people because they're like, you should have cussed so much. I can't. I got to be me, guys. Like, no matter what, even if you hate the way I talk, I love you. Even if even if it's at the expense that you think I'm stupid, you're probably right. You know what I mean? Even in the event that you think I'm stupid, you're probably right. And I can't change that because you think that a few words is going to judge you, you know? And this can go either way. I can go deep on that. I might make a whole podcast about my thought on how irrelevant words should be. Not how they are, how they should be. They should just roll off you like beads of water on a waterproof canvas. Well, guys, I said I was only going to do it for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm really proud of myself. I got through this whole podcast sniffling. I got to look into that. Am I fighting off the C word? I don't even know. But anyhow, guys, this was just to wrap it up, guys. The SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You have to figure out these things to get awareness on who you are, self awareness. Who are you as a person? What do you want to be? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? What do you care about? What's your values? What value do you bring to the marketplace? What kind of weaknesses do you believe that you have? Write them down, figure it out. Figure it out. Opportunities. Figure it out, guys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute this. I'm going to blow my nose because I want. Guys, this was a good one for me. It was great for me. How was it for you? Anyhow, guys, I want to tell you guys that my name is Michael James. I am the founder of the Change Goods brand. My website is www.changegoodsbrand.com. The link is in the description. You should follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, like, and share this. And I leave you with these words of encouragement: live inspired, be inspired, and change for good.